Chapter 1 of the Curse of Capistrano. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Barry Eads. The Curse of Capistrano by Johnston McCulley. Chapter 1. Pedro the Boaster. Again the sheet of rain beat against the roof of red Spanish tile, and the wind shrieked like a soul in torment, and smoke puffed from the big fireplace as sparks were showered over the hard dirt floor.
"'Tis a night for evil deeds,"
declared Sergeant Pedro Gonzales, stretching his great feet in their loose boots toward the roaring fire and grasping the hilt of his sword in one hand and a mug filled with thin wine in the other.
"Devils howl in the wind, and demons are in the raindrops. 'Tis an evil night indeed, eh, senor?"
"It is," the fat landlord agreed hastily, and he made haste also to fill the wine mug again, for Sergeant Pedro Gonzales had a temper that was terrible when aroused, as it always was when wine was not forthcoming.
"An evil night,"
the big sergeant repeated, and drained the mug without stopping to draw breath, a feat that had attracted considerable attention in its time, and had gained the sergeant a certain amount of notoriety up and down El Camino Real, as they called the highway that connected the missions in one long chain. Gonzales sprawled closer to the fire and cared not that other men thus were robbed of some of its warmth. Sergeant Pedro Gonzales often had expressed his belief that a man should look out for his own comfort before considering others, and being of great size and strength, and having much skill with the blade, he found few who had the courage to declare that they believed otherwise. Outside the wind shrieked, and the rain dashed against the ground in a solid sheet. It was a typical February storm for Southern California. At the missions the frailes had cared for the stock and had closed the buildings for the night. At every great hacienda big fires were burning in the houses. The timid natives kept to their little adobe huts, glad for shelter. And here, in the little pueblo of Reina de Los Angeles, where, in years to come, a great city would grow, the tavern on one side of the plaza housed for the time being men who would sprawl before the fire until the dawn rather than face the beating rain. Sergeant Pedro Gonzales, by virtue of his rank and size, hogged the fireplace, and a corporal and 3 soldiers from the Presidio sat at a table a little in rear of him, drinking their thin wine and playing at cards. An Indian servant crouched on his heels in one corner. No neophyte who had accepted the
Sample complete. Ready to continue?